Greetings, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory once again. Or you might know me as the Armchair Philosopher. Now, this right here is a much promised response to Sticky Fingers or St1ckyF1ngrs. And the title of his vid was Mammy is Dead, Black Feminism. And he talks about feminism, especially how it is pervasive in the black community. And one of the things he pointed out with his issues in regards to feminism was laws passed to favor women, i.e., domestic violence and so on and so forth. Well, I have to agree with you. I find that there are many laws that, if taken to their literal sense, would favor women and totally disenfranchise men. Yes, we have abused women. Yes, we have rapes. Yes, we have murders and exploitation of women. But it seems that even if there is the appearance of abuse or exploitation, without there actually really being abuse, men are still penalized, and the burden of proof is incumbent on the man. I right now know of a man who is in jail for a crime he didn't commit due to him dealing with a crazy vindictive woman. So I can get with you on that. I liked how you touched upon how the second thing was we don't understand the changes of our world. Like, with the roles of women changing and with the roles of men changing and with just the state of our nation, there is this sense of uncertainty, and with uncertainty comes fear. And with that fear, we're wondering, what is our place? What does it mean to be a man? So, of course, feminism does not enable this practice. Feminism also seeks to sort of destroy the man in a sense where it's like we become this sort of superfluous thing and no longer being what we were created to be, whatever that might be. Embarrassment. I do find that women have this tendency to want to embarrass men, or quote unquote put men on blast, or put men in check, quote unquote. And I liked your analogy about the student and the teacher. The woman is, in essence, a teacher of how she wants to be treated by her mate. And of course, instead of putting him on blast and airing out the dirty laundry as women are want to do, they should be like, pull him off to the side and say, "Hey, you know what? I didn't like it when you did thus and such," as opposed to, "He ain't no good," and run and tell her friends he ain't no good. He's this, that, and the third. Now, I even liked how you talked about just the competitiveness angle of men and women. How it seems that, yes, it's one thing to compete on an equal footing. It's another thing to load the deck so everything is constantly in your favor, and it seems to work against me or any other man. So competitiveness is not a problem with us men. I don't have a problem with going and dealing with a woman as a person that is intelligent and can roll with the punches. And yes, you touched upon some real heavy stuff when you talked about the thug standard code. And you got these young girls, and your keyword is young girls, setting the bar for manhood. And you just really touched upon that. I did a video. I've done a couple of videos on my channel, whether or not you've seen them, where I just talk about how it seems the bad boys are always rewarded because it is believed that they possess some strength or vigor or sexual prowess that, let's say, the nice guy doesn't. So usually the thug guy is the one that women turn to. And then those same women will get angry when they scream, "I can't find a good man because that so-called thug, that so-called gangster, that so-called street Negro has either run through her and left her for dead," basically. And lives, livelihood, finances, sanity, and freedom have been sacrificed in the name of trying to keep up with this thug standard. Now, do I believe that all men are falling into this trap? No, but many of us are. Um, Many of us don't know. Many of us are hearing, every time we see the rapper We see the Lil Waynes and the Drakes and so on and so forth. We praise those guys. We sing their praises. Women, we see the concert halls full of women screaming for these dudes. And these dudes kind of come off with that so-called swagger persona, which in reality, if you really think about it, none of us have anything we can have swagger over, because I personally believe that all of our abilities come from God Almighty. They don't come from our own endeavors. Yes, I can make efforts and I can learn things, but even my ability to learn comes from the Creator. So I do find that the bad guys are rewarded and the nice guys are downplayed and disrespected. And I liked your final comment. Feminism is truly a side issue. We don't know what manhood is. I mean, we don't know our role anymore. What is our role in this world? I do want to point out that yes, there are too many brothers that are just planting their seed, quote unquote, and then leaving. But then there's a lot of women that allow those type of men in their lives and continue to reward the bad behaviors of those men. So I think there's enough blame to go around no matter where you sit on this issue. But we don't know what true manhood is, and it seems that even these days, our sense of good character is fallen by the wayside. Even with shows like The Bad Girls Club, and we see all these shows where people are partying and engaging in revelry and making merriment, but they're not really thinking about the deeper issues of their lives. When we see the woman with her breast, hips, buttocks, and thighs on display on these shows, and she's quote unquote hooking up, and we live in this sort of culture. But we don't really talk about cultivating our inner selves. We talk about looking good and being pickup artists and so on and so forth. I really enjoyed your video, Mr. Fingers, and thank you for putting this out there. Thank you for sharing this in the cyberspace, so to speak. Well, thank you for choosing. Excuse me, I'm getting into my work mode right now. Sorry about that. Thank you for just putting this out here, putting this info out, and subscribe to this gentleman. He's got some really good insights. And in addition to that, that's my 2 cents on the subject. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Be easy like Sunday morning.